I'll give you guys the rundown. I've been playing since season 1 or beta potentially. I don't really remember. I've been challenger since season 4, and I played pro since 2017, I think. Something 8 years ish. So I've been around a while. I've had a lot of very good coaches in my pro career. I've been coached by Froscarin, who everyone would know from EULCS. I've been coached by Nero, who's head coach for Golden Guardians. And Quay, who was head coach of Fnatic when Reckless and everyone was there, and they went to quarterfinals World Championship. And the way I really teach the game is through minion waves. And this is kind of how pros have seen the game since about 2020. This has kind of been the main way to see the game, and it's mostly still played like this, or just variations to this to an extent. So whatever it is that you're trying to do, you worry about your minion waves first, and then that's the means to get to the thing. So I'll chuck my screen on for everyone to see. I'll leave this on for the basic whole thing. But the whole way you play through is just waves. So for example, I'll get a bunch of good examples of this. But say you want this, right? You want dragon. The way to get to that is always through a wave. You never just run there like this. Only time you run there like that is like a last case scenario where for some reason you're like completely ridiculously late. So whenever you want the positioning for like this fight, the best way to do this always is you pick where you're strongest, be any of the 3 lanes, but just to be simple for this, we'll pick bot mid. So say you're your strongest bot, you wait, you go sit behind your bot lane, they push in a big wave, the enemy's stuck here, and you walk on in, and now you're on the dragon. And then the enemy's stuck on that tower. So it really sucks for them to come in. And then just to be a bit more advanced with that, the way we'll do it is we'll crash that wave, and would walk to mid, would crash a wave mid, pick up our mid laner, and then would walk down to the dragon. So then think about what we've done here, right? Is we've got one guy stuck on this tower, catching his wave. We've walked up, we've grouped with our mid laner. We've made another guy stuck here. And then we've grouped up as a whole team here doing dragon. And they have to enter from 2 sides where they're completely split. So that's just a basic example of how you play through your minion waves. It's always the way to get literally anything done in League, any objective, as long as you have enough time setting up for it, essentially. Obviously, this is pretty hectic, but you can still apply a lot of this to League. And when people skip these steps, then they just miss out on farm and things like this. So you can still do it in all of your games, and either exactly this will happen. Very simply, the enemy was stuck at a tower doing nothing, or they're just going to lose waves, which is really bad, right? Let me grab some clips because I have a bunch of clips just on how to manage your waves really well. So I have a game I played just for this instance. I went and played a GP game because GP is the strongest top laner in the universe and starts push. So I'm going to go through every lane, kind of the basic way to manage your waves and how it works kind of forever. And then jungle and how that all works together. So I'll start basic early game. So in League, it is always really nice to have push. So when you have push, you can basically fix your wave. So it's good on weak side, it's good on strong side, but it's especially good on strong side. So a game like this, right, where my jungler's pathing towards me, it's really nice to have push because around the time he gets to top and crab spawns, I'll have this giant wave that I can crash in. And if the enemy jungler paths to top, I can help him as well, right? I can run down, I can help him on his crab, I can help him invade. If the jungler invades, I can help him again. But then also he's covering me, right? If I have push and my wave's going in, I'm able to be ganked and my jungler's right there to back me up. So this game's a perfect example. You guys watch. So I'm trying to play for push. My jungler's coming to me. It's kind of the perfect storm. I actually intentionally don't kill him here when I could have, just because I wanted the VOD. So I left him alive. The basic thing you want to do on pretty much every lane is when the first wave happens, right? You want to ensure your push. So you kill it so that the last minion dies of the first wave when the second one arrives. So you can imagine here, right? This minion dives as this guy arrives. And so the wave doesn't move forward. So it hasn't moved past this line, right? Where it originally started. If I push that and the minion dies and the next minion's here, they're going to meet in the middle. They're going to be somewhere here. So you want to push the first wave as fast as you can without it moving forward. just to ensure you're 2. So this is the one exception of the whole game for your waves. And then we're going to go to another rule where it's either as fast as you can or as slow as you can, just till the end of time, essentially. So as slow as you can with your wave, always, only last hitting. All right, you're going to watch me do exactly that now that I've secured the push, right? At any moment when I want level 2, I get it. So if he walks up to this creep and hits it, I'll hit level 2 and I'll kill him. So he can't, right? So there's no point for me to be level 2. I can be level 2 at any time. It's completely fine. So as slow as I can with my wave to make it as big as possible. And it's exactly that thing from before, right? Once these creeps die, it's going to move forward. So usually in top lane, it's best to aim for a 3-wave crash. And in bot lane, 3 or 4. You can generally get away with 4 just because you can zone them better. And when you zone them better, you can build your wave bigger. Mid lane's a bit different because it's a short lane. You can't really ever do more than 3, but 3 is a lot still. But we'll just worry about side lanes for now. So as slow as I can, building it up. It actually does move forward a bit more than I wanted it to, which is fine. But the big thing is it's not crashing into tower, right? So we go slow as we can. So our wave is as big as possible. So there's a few great things about this, right? So one, while it's building, my creeps are dying. And he can't contest. So he's missed every single creep that's died since I started stacking that wave, right? So one, I'm denying minions. 2, my wave is getting as big as possible. So it's back to that back to here as well, right? So we're here, our wave starts here. We go as slow as you can, maybe after the first wave, right? It starts here, second wave is here, third wave is like here. And then you get to the third wave, and then you go as fast as you can. So it's been as slow as we can, and now it's kind of the last possible wave. There's no way I can hold this here for 30 seconds, right? It will crash, and so if it's the last possible wave, then I nuke it as hard as I can. So it all goes in at once. So we're going to see me start doing that here. And this is also a pretty extreme example. I'm actually playing with my mid jungle and I'm telling them what to do because I was trying to teach them. This was like a friendly coaching session I did with like a team where I was trying to teach them how to do a 3-wave dive. So we picked a priority mid. But here's the extreme example, right? So in your solo queue games, it's not going to be this extreme where we've got 3 people, this giant wave, and this guy's completely GG. But you can imagine here, right? I stack up this giant wave. This guy is lower level than me, so he can't fight me. I've got all these creeps to fight in, so if they gank me, it's fine, I'll fight in the creeps. If my jungle is pathing to me, and I fight in this with my jungler, we're going to win. So my jungler's a happy boy, because if he comes top, I'll be able to help him out. He's a sad boy, it's true. So yeah, bunch of reasons. It's good for my jungler, it's good for me. And then we'll see something else as well after all this. So next thing, right? If Yone dies, it's really bad. Because this kill is a lot more punishing than just a kill, right? He misses all these creeps. And plus, something else to know about League, it's even hard-coded into the game. Obviously here, it's pretty obvious, right? Their creeps stack up. They're going to start coming backwards, right? So my creeps stack up. Where are we? Wave goes into tower. The creeps are going to stack up like this. And it's going to slowly start coming back this way, right? Which is nice for me because when I get this wave in and I recall and I run back here, generally you're not losing more than 2 creeps, sometimes 3, but you're generally not losing more than 2 creeps. Every time you crash a wave into tower, it comes back. And yeah, it's hard coded in the game. So as I said here, they get stuck on my minion, so it comes back. And since it's on his side of the lane, when the next wave arrives, it'll get to the fight sooner and start coming back. So every time it's on their side of the lane, it's going to come back quicker as well. But then, as I said, even if all of these creeps die before this creep wave arrives, it does still come back. It gets to neutral, and I'm pretty sure 100% of the time. I haven't tested it, but it's like a pattern I've noticed since my scrims, and my teammates, we've noticed this pattern for like a few weeks. It still comes back, even if it doesn't get caught on the wave. So we'll say that here. I actually mess around for a while hitting it because I'm bored. But I'm running back, and look what I come back to. So this is the beautiful thing. So obviously in this instance, it was the extreme. It was the complete extreme of everything where we did a dive and he died and lost all this stuff. Great. But just imagine that you crashed that wave and recalled. crash that 3 wave or 4 wave, right? And the 4th wave is when the crab spawns, right? So your jungler paths top. I go as slow as I can. I have a huge wave there. If their jungler comes too, then we're going to win everything on that side of the map. Even if I die, it doesn't matter. If I die by some miracle on the strong side of the map, then I've already killed all the creeps there are to kill. But then if he dies, we can go back to this, right? He's a sad boy. He loses all this. So if I die right now, in my dying breath, I press Q on this barrel and I lose nothing. I just die. But he loses this. It's a lot more punishing, right? So beautiful for me. And then, even if I die, I come back to this wave. So I'm a happy boy. But if he dies, exactly this happens, right? Look how much he's lost. So as I said, this is the extreme. And so now you get options too, right? Something else to note is generally junglers, now we can talk about jungle. Generally junglers, they have to stick to like a path. They have to stick to, I call it like a script. They start with a script. So this game, my jungler starts here. Obviously, it's the extreme example because he literally did like 3 camps and then dive top. But generally, junglers have to do this. Some variation of this, right? Do this and get crab and go there. Or just at least they do this, right? Or they do it the other way. If junglers do anything but that, they kind of get fucked in XP forever. There are exceptions to this, right? If you play Graves on Italy, you're probably going like this. And that's a bit more advanced. We can talk about that at some point, but probably not today. You have junglers like Nunu, who really don't give a shit, who will just do fucking this. Right? These are things you'll come across. But at the end of the day, even if the Nunu does that, the response, right? He does whatever the fuck this is. The response is this jungler's going to come in here and eat all this, and he's a happy boy. Right? So regardless, it does still suck for the Nunu, but sometimes they'll still do it. But at the end of the day, junglers have to do this. Base. Base. They always have to stick to this script, and they have to look for things on the way. So generally, your jungler would do this. He'll come here. He'll get to his crab, and he'll want to do his crab, right? So in pro play, something to note is that pushing lanes is very important. It's probably the most important thing. If you verse SKT and they have 3 pushing lanes, you've lost the game. Because once you have 3 pushing lanes, you genuinely cannot lose from that point if you play perfect gameplay. So you can imagine exactly this scenario, right? We have 3 pushing lanes, or SKT right now. Every lane's going this way, right? So all we got to do is we got to find where their jungler starts. He starts here. All right, we're going to start here. We're both pathing to top side, right? So we're going to get to 3 minutes, or we're going to get to 2 minutes 30, and something's going to happen, right? Either Bengi's going to walk in like this, or Bengi's going to walk in here, either way. But this poor sad jungler over here is going to walk in this jungle. He's going to find Bengi, and then this guy's going to walk in, and this guy's going to walk in, and he can't play the game. Or even if they don't invade, right? He's going to get to here, and these 2 lanes are going to be pushing. And then what's he going to try? He's going to try and gank one of them. Well, he's going to lose, right? Because something to remember when you're stacking your wave is 1, you're high level because the guy hasn't killed the creeps yet. 2, you got the mini wave to fight in. 3, you're quicker to rotate. And in this instance, because we scattered where he started, our jungler's behind. So he can't fight in any of these lanes or this one. So no matter where he goes, we just follow him with our jungler. Can't do anything. So that's not the case when we're playing in silver, right? We don't have Bengi as our jungler. But it still serves the point of when your jungler passes where they have push, everyone's happy. Let you know if there's a VOD. Oh shit, I'm supposed to chuck on a recording. 1 sec, boys. I'll chuck on a recording. Completely forgot to do that.
I'm recording it as well.
Yes. Oh, you're recording it?
Yeah.
It's fine. Alright. I'm overdoing it. Alright, cool. So wait, where am I? Lost my thought. Here we go. Alright, so we're back to this, right? So your jungler boy, he goes like this. He gets to here, he wants his crab. Comes down, he gets his crab. Crab is 4th wave, right? So at 315. So you're a good boy and you get either your 3rd or 4th wave in, doesn't really matter. So it goes into tower. And so the moment that the crab spawns, you're a good boy, you want to help your jungler, you walk on down, and you're here helping your jungler. He gets his crab and he's happy. So then you can go do whatever you want, right? You can go recall, you can go do what you want, but at the end of the day, the thing that is happening is because your wave went in tower, it's coming back this way now, right? it looks exactly the same as in this video. So if I want to recall, I come back to this. Even if I stay in lane, I can just not push the wave and it'll come back to me like this. But what's our jungler going to do, right? So our jungler's eating this. All right, he's got one camp to do. It's here. He's going to go do it. And then where's he going to go, right? Where is our jungler going to go? Well, the first camp that's respawning the map is this one, and then this one. So he's going bot side, right? So he's going bot side at the time that our wave's coming back. So he goes to bot side, he goes down here and does his camps. He doesn't want to be top, does he? If he's top side, Bengi can walk in his jungle again, right? And then this guy will come first. So then, well, whole time that your jungler's bot side of the map, right? Your wave's coming in and you're safe. So you don't want to do anything aggressive. Your jungler's not here. You're not being protected by anyone. You're kind of chilling. How does midwave work with this mentality? Midwave is just different in regards that anyone can be here at any point. So you can't really stack waves as well because it's not as long. But you can still kind of basically use that mentality where you want to do that as slow as you can or fast as you can. You never really want to do in between. So the way that looks is kind of like this earlier, right? Where when I'm as slow as I can, I'm not touching it. And the moment this wave arrives, look, I'm using spells. I'm auto attack off cooldown. It's the exact same. This fast as you can, slow as you can thing holds true for like 99% of instances. But I'm non-stop autoing, as you can see. So you can do the same thing here, right? So the most you can stack is like 2 waves. So first wave, you can do what you're doing. Second wave, you crash it, and then you go do something. You go ward or something, right? You go put a ward here. There we go. There's a ward. So the basic concept, right, that you can pretty much live by on League is just as slow as you can, fast as you can. And then pretty much the reason you're doing the fast as you can, right, is once you kill a wave here, 30 seconds a wave comes. So you kill this wave in 10. So that 20 seconds, you go do something, right? You either recall and you run back, and by the time that 20 seconds is up, you're like here. And so you lose 1 creep instead of 2, right? Because you pushed faster. That's another great thing, right? Is when it comes time to do as fast as you can, here I am, it's time to go as fast as I can. It's not just me pushing, it's me plus 5 creeps or 6 creeps, right? So you're going to push even faster. So that time you have to go do your something is longer. So as slow as you can, fast as you can, every time a wave hits tower, you do something. So that's something. It kind of depends, right? If you're the best thing to do is to dive. If you dive a tower, you deny that wave that you're with. That's the best thing you can do, right? So you start at the most aggressive and you work down. So number 1 is dive. If you can dive and kill him and he misses everything, awesome. If you can't dive him, you either do a neutral or you invade. So as I said, right, crash the wave, kill him. Crash the wave, crash the wave like here, do dragon. You crash a wave, you recall. You crash a wave, you deep ward. So there's a billion examples. I got a really cool example here from a pro match I played about a week ago, where I can talk about this concept pretty well. Read somewhere that it's called turn after you crash your wave, you have 1 turn. Recall warding, is this true? Yeah, League is basically a game played in turns. Something you can note as well, just from that replay, is that every time I have the stacking wave, I'm trading really aggressively, right? I'm trading really aggressively this whole replay here because I have a stacking wave, my jungler's coming, and it's the exact same mentality, right? If me and him are both 1 HP and my jungler comes up, then that's good, right? He's fucked. But also, I'm not scared to die. If I die, I lose nothing. If he dies, he loses everything. So I'm not scared to trade right now. So as the wave's going forward, I'm not scared to trade. But then on the counter, right, at this moment right here, I don't want to die. So I'm not going to trade till like 1 HP, and well, maybe I will because my jungler's here, but I'm not going to int myself and lose this wave because it's not worth it for me. This guy's trolling, but whatever. Obviously there's more advanced stuff you can do, right? You can do like a 2-wave crash into have it bounce back to you, and so that when their jungler gets topside, you're completely safe, or do a 2-wave crash into like a freeze. Like for example here, like if I want, I can just keep this freeze forever, and he's literally gonna go down 6 billion CS because I'm like a level up on him and I have a freeze. The game's over. Or I can just start stacking again. Something to note as well is that obviously in this instance, right, we did a 3-wave crash, but it started from here. So it's first wave, second wave, third wave, it's in, right? But in this instance, right, it comes to here and it starts here. And this will always happen, same thing, right? So you can crash this wave in, it'll bounce, come back. You play like a good boy, you don't trade, you don't do anything dumb because the wave's coming into you, crashes into your tower and it comes back. But now the thing is we're not starting the wave stack from the middle, we're starting it from here. So instead of doing like 1 wave, 2 wave, 3 wave, we can do 1 wave, 2 wave, 3 wave, 4 wave. We can do like 4 or 5. So that wave stack can be a lot bigger. I might have an example from my scrims somewhere. Not quite sure if I saved one. This is sort of an example of that, but this is from a pro game I played versus a not great team a few weeks ago. But they get pushed early, right? They get pushed, but they're bad. They're bad players and they don't know how to wave stack. So this is what their wave looks like when they try and crash it, right? I'm not letting them crash this. So that's one thing we can do now, right? Is people don't understand this concept of as slow as you can, fast as you can to get their waves in. And as I explained before, every time you get your wave in, it's an opportunity. So right here, to get their opportunity, they have to get this wave in, right? They can't just walk off and leave it. They have to get the wave in so that I can't follow. But I know what they're trying to do, so I don't let them. Because they didn't stack their wave properly. If they stacked their wave properly right now, I wouldn't have a choice, right? They would have 10 creeps, and I don't want to tank that, so I'm going to be sad and not do it. But look, we don't let them crash it, so they haven't left yet. So it's 4 minutes. It's been like 4 waves, and they haven't left lane. I've trapped them here. So this is like one thing, right? Oh, this is the 6th wave actually. Holy shit, it's the 6th wave and they haven't roamed. So this is the one big thing, right? If they stack 3 or 4 waves, their Braum can walk mid and ward, or he can walk on our jungle and ward. But instead he sat here and done nothing because they were bad and didn't know how to stack waves. And now this exact concept, right, of basically happened without it actually hitting the tower, but they took push, it hit our tower and came back. Exactly that's happening here, right? It wasn't me taking push, but it was us taking the push back. It wasn't hitting the tower, but taking the push back. But now we're good, right? We're good at the game. We know how to stack our waves, so we're slow as I can until it's, where are we? Slow as I can until this wave, and now we nuke it, right? We say, can we hold this until this wave? So if you look really close, there's actually a minion wave next to Lily. Can we hold this until that wave arrives? And then nuke it with that one? Yes or no? In this instance, we said no, so we nuke it. So am I nuking it or am I not nuking it? Maybe we did hold it. Sorry guys, I can only skip the 30 seconds at a time, so it's sad. Okay, so we do nuke it. We nuke it in. And then that opens me up, right? So then you remember how Braum didn't get a wave in? He couldn't do anything? Well, I did get a wave in. So look what I'm doing, right? This is basically ending the game. How is the enemy jungle supposed to play? So mid lane scared because I'm here. I'm warding their full bot side and we're doing dragon. So that's something in this instance is like 2 things. We're like min-maxing it. We do that, and then I'm pretty sure we recall as well. So we get 3 things done. So now we've got a recall and we're first. So by the time, it's another thing as well, right? Once the wave goes in, it's going to come back. Why can't they just engage on Kai'Sa because of the wave? Exactly. They can't fight you in the giant wave, right? They couldn't fight Kai'Sa here because we have a giant wave. So we crash it. We're happy boys. And then that wave's going to come back. And so you got to think about their situation, right? So if you crash your wave and you go back and you start recalling, get to base and you start walking back, right? So the bigger your wave, the longer they have to spend here catching it. So if you crash 3 creeps, they kill the 3 creeps and they recall at the same time as you. And then you come out at the same time and you both arrive here, right? But if you crash 10 creeps, then they have to stand here for 10 seconds, kill all 10 creeps. By that point, you're already in base. And then they start their recall when you're here. And then 8 seconds pass and you're here and they're here. and then, you know, they walk and they're here by the time you're here, and so you take push. Now you take this big push, because you're first in lane, right? You can do what you want. So now you take back this push, and they're sad. And so this cycle starts again, right? Remember, when you have the wave coming towards you, you can't do anything. You have to sit there and wait for it to hit your tower before it's your turn. Well, think about what we just did, right? We stacked the wave, we crashed it. We based, we came back. It's our turn again, because we're here first. So either we do that and it's our turn again, or the enemy tries to stay, and they try and stay, and you've come out of base with a buy advantage, and their wave is going this way, and so now it's frozen and you have a buy advantage, which is just going to happen 9 out of the 10 times that you play. So whenever you're trying to do this in your solo queue games, that's probably what's going to happen, is you're just going to take a recall for free, come back, and they're fucked. Or even if they do recall, the wave's going this way, so they're losing a lot more than you. So they're very sad boys. So this is the basic concept, right? Slow as you can, fast as you can. Get the wave, like nuke the wave into your tower, and then every time the wave goes in, you do something. So whatever that something is fine, as long as it's not standing here, or here, or here. You're doing something. So on mid, on side lanes, we talked about what that looks like. On mid lane, it's just going to be going, warding whatever side you need to ward, or taking your recall, or doing your roam. So it'll be 2 waves and ward this, and come back. And then it'll be like a wave or 2, whatever you want to do, and then recall. Come back, and then a wave or 2, and then run top or bot or wherever the fuck you want to go. Something to talk about as well, just a little thing. I might just get a replay up to show this better. And I'll show you some clips as well. I'll show you some clips. This is someone I did coaching with for quite a while. I think I've done like 10 sessions with this guy. Here's an old clip, and there's a new one, and we're going to compare the two. And it's a very subtle difference, but it's very obvious because he's playing Caitlyn. So we'll see. We'll see on this one. And I'll talk about mid lane just a tad. I think I might have a mid lane bod from one of you guys that was sent in. Alright, so I've always playing Caitlyn, our hero today. Hero's playing Caitlyn. This is like silver or gold or something, I think. So if you're weak side, say the Yone in the GP lane, top lane, what can you do to prevent GP doing what he did? Oh yeah, I should probably mention that real quick. Where am I? So it's the same thing as this. Since we know what the winning team wants to do, so when you're playing the silver, right, these guys don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're just playing the game. They're not thinking about their waves and crashing them slow or fast. But you are now, right? So if you're not strong enough to take push like that guy was, that's completely fine. You don't have push. You're gonna do what we did here. So we know what we're doing, they don't. And so they have to crash a wave. So anything you can do to prevent that is good. So what are the 2 things you want to do when you're the winning team, right? You want to stack a wave as big as possible, and you want to crash it. So anything you can do to make the wave smaller, or anything you can do to stop them crashing it, are the 2 things you want to do. So here, for example, this wave is small because we've been hitting it, because they keep giving us too much space. And then now look, we're holding it. So if they're good players, right, they've stacked all 3rd wave, and instead of tanking 3 creeps, we're tanking 5, and they're hitting us. So we can't do this. So this is like a mistake that we found by them, and we've stopped them. And my jungler's trolling. I told them he were coming. What are you doing, dude? My whole team's trolling. What prevents them from fighting you? With the massive wave. So like if you're the team pushing, right, and you're managing your wave correct, and you are going slow and then fast, you have this huge wave because you've gone slow, and then when you go fast on the final one, right? Remember here. Wait, where are we? So we've gone slow. We have a bunch of creeps. We have 8, 9 creeps. Big wave stacked up. And then because we go fast, right? We're here. We kill the wave in 10 seconds. Where's the next wave? 20 seconds away. So the wave's like here. It's 20 seconds away. So if you want to hold this wave, you have to stand there and tank all the minions for that 20 seconds until this minion wave arrives to tank for you. So that's why the slow fast is good. Is because more minions, harder to tank. And then the faster you get it in, the longer they have to stand here and tank. So in this instance, right, when we go back, I don't have to tank very long, do I? So I'm only tanking 3 creeps, so it's completely fine. But I don't have to tank yet, I don't have to tank yet. Alright. Now I have to start tanking. But I'm only tanking 3 creeps, and look where the next wave is. It's right here, right? It's only like 5 seconds away. So I'm tanking 3 creeps for 5 seconds. I'm fine to do it. But if we go back to this other VOD, where it's GP, and I've got a huge wave, and then I nuke this one as fast as I can. Just there. How is he supposed to stop? How is he supposed to stop this, right? How is he supposed to stop me crashing this wave? He can't, because I played it very well with the slow fast wave. So where's his next minion wave? It's a tier 2, so it's here. That's about 10 seconds. Can he stand here in front of the tower and tank this for 10 seconds? No. But in the other example, versus me in bot lane, absolutely not. Like, I can stand there and tank it all day. So the slow fast wave is good. And so exactly what I said, if you're in the losing side and you can do anything to prevent that wave being built as big, as well as for it to crash, it's really nice, right? You stop them getting that move that they should get. So in theory, they should crash that wave. And you also got to think about the jungler too, right? Just another thing. Generally, jungles path different ways. This won't be the case for your solo queue games because people like bot lane leashes, pretty simply. But in general, right, one jungler's going this way, one's going this way. So if the jungler's like going away from me, for example, if I'm like, if my jungler's pathing to top side and I'm this team, right, I'm probably not taking push because otherwise my jungle would come to me. So they're coming this way. If I stop them crashing that wave and then it bouncing back, my jungler's going to do his top camps, recall, and come bot, right? So the time he comes bot, if this wave hasn't crashed yet, usually by the time he comes bot, it should be doing that bounce, right? But now they're safe. Before my jungler's here, it's coming back. They're chilling. If I stop that going in, then my jungler's just going to come kill them, right? He's based. He comes out. This wave is like here because I've frozen it. They're fucked. I'm curious why they didn't pressure you when you held the wave. I think it's because our Nidalee was behind them and they knew he was there. And also, they're not a good team. Ez can just queue, am I wrong? Yeah, you can. What about matchups where you can shove in waves? You cannot shove in waves due to lack of wave clear. I mean, that's why the minion wave stacking helps, is because you have the minions helping you. So if you have push, then you want to do it slow fast, is just the thing, right? Because the minions, that'll even show up the issue of your wave clear. All right, so here's example 1. So this is someone I coached. He's playing Caitlyn, as I said. And this is a bad example of his waves. So we're doing everything right now, right? We're doing everything right. We've got a pushing wave. We're trading with our wave, because remember, when we have a pushing wave, we want to trade. But right now, we're going way too fast, right? Is this the last possible wave? I mean, I guess this guy's just inting his HP bar. But is this the last possible wave we need to kill before it goes in? We have to nuke into tower? It's not, right? This one is. So that's nice. We got all this stuff, so maybe it's fine. But here's the worst case scenario, right? Well, almost worst case scenario. You don't want your wave to crash when an enemy minion wave is there, because none of these creeps are going to hit the tower now. We get 50 damage on tower. And also, we can't walk up and hit the tower, because they've got all these minions to play in as well. So imagine, for example, instead of crashing that there and getting 50 tower damage, we kept stacking it. So your enemy's still level 1, right? They're still level 1 at this point, but our wave's here on this line. And we get another 7 minions to add to it, and then we crash it all at once. And then they're under tower with no minions to hide behind, and all our creeps are focusing tower. So 1, if you're playing Ezreal Karma or whatever you're playing, or just anything with a skill shot, you can hit your skill shots. There's no creeps to hide behind. And then 2, you get 1 billion tower damage, which is nice on Caitlyn, right? So again, the same thing's going to happen here. No tower damage, right? Because it's not that slow fast. We're getting a wave pushed, and it's getting like stuck there. Curious. So with wave stacking, you need to have a decent understanding of jungle position starting path, because that can also dictate how your waves can stack. I think that to begin with, it's not really important to think about jungle. So obviously, I explained in pro play the way it works is you always end up where you have push or is supporting your jungler. But I think it's less important to begin with, and I think it's just convoluted. I think the way to to think about it is very simple. If you can take push, you take push. You stack your wave slow or fast. If their jungler shows up and fights you in a massive creep wave, while their enemies are a level down because they haven't killed minions yet, then you probably win the 1v2 or the 2v3 in the wave. Or absolute worst case, like you die, and as I said, you don't lose anything. But if they die, they do. So just try it. Alright, just try the slow fast. When you crash your wave, try to do something. And then you get a nice recall and you'll come back to a nice wave for yourself. And even if you die, exact same thing, right? You'll come back with a nice wave for yourself. So don't stress too much about jungle just to begin with. It's a lot to think about and you will have a brain explosion. Just worry about doing the slow fast first. This is what I told this guy because he was honestly people were walking over wards and killing him because he was trying to think about too much. And I was like, don't worry about jungle, man. Just slow fast. If you die, you die. But I think the same thing's going to happen again, right? Wave crash. This is here. So we've never got a chance to recall. This is another great thing about when you crash the wave fast, is that point of waves come every 30 seconds. If we kill it in 10 seconds, we've got 20 till something happens. So they've got to stand around and wait 20 seconds till a wave gets here, and then they've got to kill it, and that's when you lose creeps to tower. So here, right, if we recall, by the time we get to the base, they've killed this wave and we've lost 6 creeps, so that's bad, right? But if we kill this wave now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, this is the wave they've got to make us lose, which they can't do, right? They have to kill this. Like this essentially has to walk until here, which won't happen. So we haven't got a chance to recall. We haven't got a chance to hit tower. We're sad boys right now. I'm pretty sure we get a bunch of kills this game, but we get no tower damage. So here, crash a wave. This is the first good wave. That's the first good wave of the game. It only works because someone dies, but we got it. So now look, we base. He's a sad boy, isn't he? So if he recalls right now, we're gonna count creeps. If he recalls, we're gonna count creeps. If he doesn't recall, he's stuck in lane on 50 mana, 400 health, and a bunch of money. Was it wrong the Kate poke? No, it was perfect the Kate poked. It was just the minion wave. That if he did that poking and we had the massive stacked wave, we'd be getting tower plates and we'd be killing them under tower and they'll be losing a bunch of minions. That's another thing to think about as well, is when we stack the wave, if we get a kill, it's more punishing. If we get a kill and we stack 6 creeps, they lose 6. If we stack 10, they lose 10. 10 is better than 6, right? Alright, so he does stay. So look, the wave can't go in. So this is why it's good, right? Is we've recalled so fast. So we're in bait, like we started recall now. So he does not only push just this wave, he has to push 2 because we've recalled fast, which he can't do. So he tries, doesn't work. Wave's frozen. Loses 6 creeps. We don't. And then we fuck our wave and go too fast again. So look, we're getting kills, but we're not getting tower damage. So imagine, for example, here, right? We go slow. So instead of killing these creeps, we keep the wave here. And we start stacking from here. So we hold it. Closer to your side, the better that we start from. And then we stack. 1 wave here, next wave here, next wave here, crash. We've still 4 stacked creep waves. And then we hit the tower with it. I think he does exactly that in the next replay, we'll see. But look, we get a kill, it's nice. But we've got to kill this minion wave before we can do something, right? And it's awkward to do it under tower. So now we get a recall. So it's 7 minutes, we've got 2 solo kills, and we haven't taken a plate yet. So this is another perfect example, right? We get to lane. If we stack this with 2 waves and crash it all at once, we're going to get a bunch of tower damage. We're going to get 2 plates here. But instead we fast push, and we get 1, and we should probably die to volley there. And we do. Oh, we don't? Other way. So we'll get the good replay now, right? So here's the thing to look at. Here's our next solo kill. So we're at 3 solo kills by 10 minutes, and we've taken 1 plate. Not very good, right? But then we go to this other replay where he does it not perfectly, definitely nowhere near perfectly, but a lot better. And it's going to be the exact same situation. I think he hits less kills, but we have almost a full tower. Pretty sure the first few waves are bad. Alright, it's cool. So wave doesn't move forward at all. Perfect. We're happy trading as much as we want. This is a little bit too fast, right? Because we've killed the creeps faster than we need to. And so it's crashed here, which is the worst thing you want, right? If the waves crashed here, they can kill these 2 creeps for free. So in theory, we want it here. If they'll place a mirror, or they shouldn't push, or should they? This is just another thing as well. You can do, say you're playing Olaf top, or you're playing like a tank support. When you crash that wave, remember what the wave does? It comes back. So you want to play with a long lane, you're playing Olaf, you want to run them down and kill them, or you're playing Nautilus, you want to hook them and have a lane to run them down and kill them. To get that, you push a wave in, and it bounces. So push, recall, then all in, exactly. So you can either push, recall, all in, or you can push, and if you don't have anything to recall for, you can just stand around. Or you just chill. The wave will come back, and eventually the wave will be here, and you'll have all this space to solo kill them. So it's going to be the same for everything. So yeah, this is a bit awkward, right? We lose 2 creeps, not perfect. We lose all these creeps because it's not perfect. Imagine the wave's here, we lose nothing, right? And we can crash this wave and hit tower. So as I said, it's not perfect. The first few waves suck. So cool, we get a free kill. Get our wave. Alright. Here we would stack, but he's recalled, so we want to make him miss the wave, so we push, that's fine. Alright, so now it gets better. So he comes back. Take back the push if we can, and now he does a better wave stack, I remember. So exactly that point from before, the wave stack starts from here. So you got more time to stack it, which is very nice. So by the time this gets to the tower, it's going to be very big. So here, stacking. So if you want, you can stack for one more wave right now, right? It's so far on your side of the map that if he wants to, he can wait till this wave arrives. And we can push it all at once. Which, are we doing that? Kinda. So if we held it a bit longer, right, instead of it getting here, it'd be here. We'd kill it once, and we'd have these creeps plus these creeps, and they'd all hit tower with nothing to stop them. So this is a bad wave crash, but still, it works, right? This is what we want. So compare this, for example, with this. Right. This right here does not look as nice as this, does it? This is what we want. So we want to get that last wave killed as much time possible before the next one's here. So you get all this time alone hitting tower with all your creeps hitting it. So different, right? You're playing Caitlyn, you're playing Jace, you're playing something that wants to hit a tower. You want sometimes crashing a wave means standing here and hitting the tower. But most of the time it means walking in here warding, it means walking in here doing dragon, all these good things. Would it be better to freeze the wave after slow pushing it in and bounces back, force the enemy to walk up? They'll be forced to fight you, which they'd lose, and you're having yeah, exactly. So when you crash that wave and it comes back, you can use that to basically freeze if you want to. Or, you know, they're stuck in lane without a buy and you have a freeze, or they base while they have a freeze, so you get a CS lead, all that good stuff. So what is the dangerous? Why is it dangerous to autopilot games, right? Because we were talking about the wave management like this, and next thing we know, we're 6 games in a row and have felt for no influence in the outcome of the game. Just something I want to point out. I'm going to pull in some VODs on support in a second, because support is the role that it's the most obvious that it affects doing this, but it works for every single role. But look at this. So remember last game, right? We were at 10 minutes. We had like barely 1 plate. 7 minutes, we have 2. So we crash the wave. What do we want to do? We want to hit tower. Awesome. Base. Come out. We're going to do the same thing. So we have same amount of solo kills, but we have 3 tower plates. We got a good dragon. Good for him. Alright, our wave's building. Our wave's stacking. Alright, can we stack any more? No, we're going to push it all at once. We're going to hit tower with it. It's that 10-minute point, right? But we have 4 plates. Just because he did waves better. He didn't do them well, he didn't do them perfect, but he didn't do them perfect, but he did them alright. So that's the difference there, right? So it's very obvious we're playing Caitlyn. But this is what we want. We're not closing out games by getting kills, and that's all we're getting, is we're getting a kill and denying 2 creeps. We're closing out games because we're doing what I did to that Yone playing GP, where he loses 15 creeps. Or we're doing what this guy did on Caitlyn, where he takes a full tower and a dragon, right? So that's the big important one, is you want your kills to be valuable. And so when you stack waves, your kills are a lot more valuable. All right, cool. So these are some games from you guys. I'll do a mid lane one quickly before I get to support, actually, because every mid lane person would be absolutely crying at me right now for talking about side lane so much. All right. This game's a little bit weird because they have a Nunu, and as I mentioned, sometimes the Mumu jungle path is a bit crazy. Jungle main's crying harder. It's kind of hard to cover jungle in a class like this, guys. I am sorry to say it is hard because I have to talk generically for everyone. If I sit there and talk about how a gank jungler works versus a tempo jungler versus farm jungler, it's gonna take up fucking 5 sessions, right? I had a game a guy who was a Graves one trick in silver, and I'd spent 10 lessons just talking about Graves jungle pathing. So I couldn't do that here. So this is the weird one, right? Chuck on our vision, so we're not playing God vision. So it's that concept, slow wave, fast wave, right? We've been good, we're getting this slow wave. But then we get surprise Nunu ganks, right? Which sucks. Like, he did perfect, he avoided it. But this awkward thing happens where it gives this wave crash, right? Where you can't nuke this. We can't nuke this, it's halfway into tower. And so it's not really his fault, right? The reason that he couldn't get this wave in nicely on the second wave, right? If he didn't get ganked by Nunu, this wave would be in right now, right? But sadly it's not because we got ganked by Nunu. And so we have to stick around trying getting it in longer, and then we get cheesed by top gap. So it's not his fault, right? Nothing you can do there, but it still shows the point of he should have got that wave in. But because it got stuck here, because of a Nunu gank, but in my instance when I was playing Rakan, because I stopped the wave going in because I'm a super chat, then something like this happens, right? So the contrary, right? Second wave in, walk in, ward here. That would have been nice, right? But instead, we don't get the wave in, we don't get the chance to ward, we get hit by a random gank and we're sad. My jungle does that to me, I suddenly disconnect and insult him. That's fine, we get a recall, we come back, and I think it happens again. So we lose a bunch of minions because we're sad, because again, we don't get that fast recall, right? If you get the recall in the moment you crash that wave, you're a happy boy and you don't lose anything, but we're recalling as a wave arrives, so we're sad. So we lose some. Again, because we got cheesed. But it's gonna happen again, right? That slow fast, we did like an in-between. This kill wasn't really slow or fast. So it's like kinda fast. Because it's in tower. I guess it is fast, but just not fast enough. Oh, no, it is. No, it's not. So it's not fast enough, right? If it was like 1 second faster, the creeps would go in tower and it would be fine. But it's not fine. And so now we have our wave stuck here instead of hitting the tower and coming back nicely. So now our wave stuck here, guess what's going to happen? I'm sure that Nunu's looking at this wave right now and thinking, oh, that looks fun. So now we're sad again, right? So something to note, it's 5 minutes. Have we left mid lane? The answer is no, right? We haven't left mid lane yet. But if any of these waves had gone in nicely, nice and clean, we would have that chance to walk in and do a deep board, and then he can't cheese us anymore. Or to walk over and get a Krabby Patty with our jungler or something. So cool, we get some kills. We get a recall, nice. Alright, slow or fast? We're picking one. We're going fast. It works fine, the wave goes in. We left our mid lane for the first time this game. So there we go. That's your reward, right? So this should have happened level 2. We should have got the second wave in and done this. Would have been nice. It took 6.5 minutes. So we could have done this every 2 waves, but we never got waves in cleanly, so instead of getting our wave in, we got ganked, so we were a sad boy. Beautiful. So that's a really good example. Even though the guy did nothing wrong, Nunu is a super Chad champ. Different base return to limit. Alright, so this is a good example. It is on support, but it's because the AD gap as well. And this is going to work for all 3 roles. It's going to work for everyone. So looking at the game as jungle gap, you look at it through the mid laner's eyes of better wave management. I mean, a lot of the time people like to blame their junglers, but they're just inting themselves. Alright, so our hero this game is Zyra. But there was just something interesting from a while in. So the slow fast thing isn't perfect, right? Wave gets caught, sad, they get to kill your minions for free. We don't get a wave crash. In a perfect world, right? This wave's dead right now, our Zara's walking mid. And our Zara is mid now, and this Corki dies. Right? In a perfect world. But if you can't do that, maybe he just walks up and wards here or wards here. Or gets free recall. Either way, it's just the concept, guys. Crash a wave, you do something. That something can be deep ward, it can be river ward, it can be mid roam, it can be base, it can be anything. But we haven't done anything. We haven't left bot lane yet, which is the sad thing. I already see dies because he's an inter. Oh well. This is interesting from their perspective as well. So they crash their wave, right? Remember when I said when you crash your wave, you have a chance to do something? This is your turn to do something. They waste their turn, right? If they're Caitlyn and they have they're Caitlyn, they're level 5 and they want to hit this tower and take a plate, that's something, right? But they're level 3 and they have no damage. So they're hitting tower for 200 damage, which is useless, instead of basing, right? If they get that free recall and come back, they're happy. But instead, they do nothing. And now he's stuck. Instead of coming out of base with like a really nice recall, he'd have spent 1k gold. He's instead stuck here on lane with nothing. How sad is he? Right? So they missed their chance to do something. So they crashed a wave and they didn't do something. So they're bad boys. So we want to crash our waves and do something good, boys. That's the perfect example of that. So now our hero is a good boy. He's crashed our wave and he's done something. Unfortunately, Pyke's held it. And just like a little support thing here. Just a free tidbit. You do have to go bot here because the wave's frozen. But generally with support, when the wave goes in, it bounces, and you don't have to be bot until it hits your tower again. So you can go sit mid for a minute. Chad play by Pyke. Yeah, that was really good by Pyke. Remember what I said? Anything to stop the wave being as big or it hitting tower is good. Our Pyke's a hero here. So he's done exactly that. So we've got a stacked wave. Slow or fast? Every minion wave asks this guy, slow or fast? We have to go fast. As a general rule, this is your line. So the tip of this bush, if it's in front of this line, you have to go fast. And then same for this side. If it's in front of this line, you have to go fast. So we have to go fast, so we nuke. Alright, leave. There's no reason to be here, right? So you ask yourself, crash wave, what can I do? Can I dive them? Yes or no? Answer's no. Can I take tower? No. Can I do dragon? Can I invade? You can do either of these things, right? So absolute worst case, we go ward, we go roam, we do something. So Zara's a bit slow. We could already be here. We're here. Corki's dead. Corki's dead, Shaco's dead. If we're faster. Instead, we're flocking around, so we're sad. So we're sad boys. Now this is the point I wanted, right? So as I said, when you get that wave in, say you kill it in 10 seconds and you have that 20 seconds to use, you have to stick to that timer, right? So here, for example, they're fucked. We don't want to let them recall. So when we get that wave in that 10 seconds and we have 20 seconds to use, if we overstay that 20 seconds, this is what happens. He gets to recall for free now, doesn't he? If he presses B right now, he loses nothing. But we leave for so long that now he pushes, and now he recalls for free. Which is what we don't want, right? Now we're the sad ones. So now our wave's frozen. So now we have to stay and push one. How happy is this guy? Now he comes back, now he takes push. Now they have push on the map. So they do dragon. If their jungler's here, they do dragon. So just because we were late to our wave, he got a free recall, he got to dragon. Really bad. The alternative, right? We stick to that timer we have. We set that timer at 30 seconds. So we get the wave in 10, we have 20 seconds to use. Faster you get the wave in, the more time you have to do something, but you have to be back for your timer to stop that guy getting away with murder. Thing is, in most games, you know, if you leave the AD on a frozen wave, he'll find a way to be killed. Roam mid after recall is normal play. Yeah, it is true. A lot of the time in these elos, dumb shit like that's gonna happen, but oh well, what could you do? I think this is someone with good waves. This is one of you guys, I think. The top lane. You get more from getting in a good wave info. Just one thing, guys, you can't compensate for your teammates. You really can't. I think I have a replay of someone trying to compensate for their teammates and it ruins the game. Alright, we're Jax here, boys. Our Jax is playing like a super chat. So this is a good example. One of you guys playing well with waves. I watched this a few days ago, so I can't remember it too well. Alright. We get 2. We're trading really aggressive because we have big wave. Super Chad. We nuke the... This is the wave we have to nuke. So we nuke it. But the big thing is we played aggressive with the pushing wave, and so this guy's fucked now. Wave goes in, it bounces. And now he's going to come back to a frozen wave. So we've got GP with no sums, who just died, so he's weaker, and he's got a frozen wave. So he has to crash this wave now. If he doesn't crash the wave, he's fucked. So if we can stop it, we do. He stops it, GP's fucked. He's a sad boy. So again, anything we can do to stop them getting that wave in clean is really nice. So GP's stuck here for a bit longer. You know, imagine our jungler's here, he's dead. If not, we're fine. And now we start the wave stack again, but back from step 1, boys. We start from this side. We can do a nice wave stack. Alright, we get a random solo kill, so that's nice. Waves in, clean, good job. Now the wave comes back again, so we're going to be good, we're going to be safe. We're not going to int our HP until we've got the wave going back to his direction. We've been good, we haven't inted our HP. And now we're allowed to int our HP, because we're going back. So we're trading. Building our wave, we're trading. Alright, jungle gap, and GG. But either way, it was all good, right? We didn't lose much, we lost 6. We lost 6 creeps, and sure, Diana gets all the creeps, but GP lost all this. So imagine Diana's not there and he dies, he loses all this. We're happy, boys. Jungle gap. There's always jungle gap, boys. Feel like nothing GP can do at the very first mistake. Exactly. And that's all down to waves, guys. If we fuck our waves, then that guy gets back in the game. But he doesn't. Could we see the CS difference there? We can go back. I mean, you guys want to see CS diff? We'll go to the extreme example of oh shit, this is not the right folder. Of that GP game I played. This is the extreme example. After this dive, whenever I press tab next. Come on, you can do it. Oh, I did it for a sec there. I gotta find a time I press tab, guys. Do it. No. But the CS lead is pretty nutty this game. I think I was up a few levels at one point. So this is when it's done very well. Oh no. Tragic, whatever. It's like 20. We'll just say. Something cool as well. I'm just going to point this out with League. This will be kind of a precursor to the next session because we're actually done in 2 minutes. So this is step 1, right? This is always step 1 when I do my coaching classes, is that stack a wave, crash it. You know how I talked about how when you get the wave in, it's nice, right? You want to do dragon, then they're stuck here. It's nice. You get objectives off that. The thing to note is more time you have, the better. But the time is very important because we're going to talk about this. So this is the concept of when I say the pro players played around waves. This is why. All right, mid lane's touched right now. This is the moment of touch. Let's check sideways. They haven't touched yet. So one thing to note is mid wave, side wave, they're staggered by 15 seconds, right? 10, 15 seconds, staggered, right? So what we can do, we can't do it level 1 because we're not strong enough, but once we're about level 5, level 6, kill this wave in 5, 10 seconds really fast. The further you catch it up, the better, the more time you have. And this is why having towers dead is important. Once you have this tower dead, you can catch the wave from here instead of here. It's very nice, right? You get an extra 10 seconds to go do something because you catch the wave 10 seconds earlier. You can kill this wave really fast and you can make it to here before this wave dies. So for example, kill this wave, it's dead. We start running up river. We can be about here right now. And so if the guy here stays, he's dead, right? You're halfway up river. So there's one thing to note. So mid lane is the most important lane in the game, and this is why you put your bot lane mid, is because once you have your bot lane mid, you can kill a mid wave. Someone is stuck here on this tower. If they're not catching the wave, you just kill the tower, right? So they have to catch this wave. And then when someone is stuck here doing nothing, you can run wherever you want and you can defend this. So in a perfect world, and this works for your solo queue games, guys, I tell everyone how to do this. This is the whole concept of macro in League of Legends. Once this wave is dead, you can make it to top before this wave dies, and you can use this wave here to take this tower. And exactly vice versa, right? So we're going to look at it from a side lane perspective because this works everywhere. Touch. Here's mid wave. So we can nuke this wave, run down. We can be here right now. And say you're Ornn and you got your top wave and you walk mid. Ornn's here. Ornn's ult. This guy's dead. Take the tower. And so you can do a lot of things with this. But it all starts with your minion waves, alright? All starts with your minion waves because you're not killing this wave quick enough to get to mid in time, or you're not killing this wave quick enough to get to side in time to do the macro play to break this tower. So we can go back real quick to this GP game. Pretty sure my mid laner doesn't actually kill the third wave because he's a super chad. But when you do a macro play right, we're going to pick a wave. Which wave is going to crash and hit the tower? This one in our base. So we tell our Azir, kill your mid wave. He's killed his mid wave. He's run top. The wave's arrived. He killed it fast enough that he got here. And sometimes if you're playing jungle, you can hit the mid wave with him to kill it faster. And he will arrive in time to use this wave to tower dive. So this is going to be our next session, guys, which I'm doing tonight for me, tomorrow for you guys if you're in EU or NA. It's going to be about that. So this is step one. Step one is your laning. Step one is you're getting your waves in. Step two is going to be transferring your lead and breaking towers and snowballing the game and getting objectives and all them good things. So the first thing, once we have that right, it gives you the opportunity to then basically take towers and win the game, which is what we really want to do. So get that wave in, do something. Lesson two is going to be that something, and it's going to be how we end the game. Get the lead and get more than just kills. 14 hours next session. All right, any question, guys? I'll do quick questions if we have anything. Top question, what inspired you to go pro? It happened by accident. I'm from Australia, so I play on O servers, but we didn't have Australian servers until season 3, so I played on NA with 250 ping. I was gold, I was shit. I took a break from League for a year in season 3, came back at the end of season 3, found out there was O servers. So then like season 4, I just played on O servers and was like, hey, I want to try and get gold. I was only silver in NA. And then I got plat, and then I got diamond, and then I got challenger, and then I played in for fun tournaments. And then I was playing in for fun tournaments, which then became the pathway to the pro league, which wasn't established yet. And then I played on a team that promoted to the pro league, but I was still 16, so I wasn't allowed to play. You had to be 17, part of the riot rules. So I promoted a team to pro league, and then I couldn't play because I was too young. So I had to wait a year. But I literally accidentally became pro. Super Chad. Who taught you the slow fast strat? This is something that I don't know if anyone taught me this. It's just kind of something that is so integral to the game that everyone in Challenger knows, and if someone doesn't know, I lose my mind. But I think that it's something that I understood better when I became a coach from coaching people. You have to figure out ways to explain things to people who don't know them. So I think slow fast is basically a thing from that. If you're sub and trying to help with wave management education when they're cooperating, do you give up on roam or do you keep trying to help manage the wave? I think you just try and hit the wave when you know it's time to hit the wave, and then you try and get it in and just run off. It's a nightmare playing support in low elo, man. I play jungle or AD carry until I get to like master tier. I don't actually play sup unless I'm in challenger. It's too painful. What's your personal opinion on Rise? I think it's always good. It's always viable. No one catch it, but I'm scared of jungler. Push mid, then tower if no one catches it, but I'm scared of the jungler. What should I do? I mean, if you're ever scared and you crash a wave, go ward. Because you can crash one wave ward and crash the next wave, hit the tower. But if you don't know what you're doing, if you're scared, you just use the first wave to ward. Instant challenger, there we go, boys. How do you carry as jungle and solo queue? Jungle and solo queue is just stick to your route. I can't really go heaps in depth about jungle, sadly, boys, because as I said, not everyone here is a jungler. You roll swap probably. Nah, you stick to your route. You start bot side, you farm to top side. When you finish your bot side camps, drive by mid. When you finish your top side camps, look top. When you recall and go bot, look bot. Don't deviate from your path. That's all. Awesome, guys. Hope you enjoyed the session. Hope you guys come to the next one. It's a ridiculous it's fucking 9 a.m. here and I don't have scrims until 2 p.m. So I am free for the next few hours. So yeah, Dylan just linked it there. So I am free for the next few hours. So if you guys do want coaching, I don't know if it'll let you book for 5 minutes time, but I'm free for the next few hours. So shoot me a message on Discord. You guys can feel free to add me and just chat whenever you need to. And yeah, I'll be free for a few hours if you guys want it. So if anyone wants some coaching, I got nothing to do. It's way too early here. Awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Go smash it, guys.